My mind rebels at stagnation. Give me problems. Give me work. Give me the most abstruse cryptogram, the most intricate analysis, and I'm in my proper atmosphere.
How's it going, fellow traders? Magic Trader here. Yes, it is time again. We're going to do another CFTC report for you. It is Monday, the 21st of November, 2022. And we got some big information for you in today's session. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you do so, or else you're going to miss out on the amazing content that we've been providing to you. And so let's start, as we always do, by taking a look at the positions held by the institutions with respect to gold. Look at that. Okay, ladies and gents, take a look at that. What do we have? A big decrease in short positions, 140,000 down to 101,000. That's huge. That is huge. Why are they doing that? Why are they closing so many off? Well, because they're profit taking from short positions. Remember how we've been talking about how the institutions have been shorting? Yes. So now they're profit taking, which is what fueled the move to the upside. And earlier today in our classroom session with students, we were talking about exactly the cycle that is playing out with the institutions. And so it has led for us to believe and suspect that we're going to see a push to the downside. All right, so we're starting to get that now. As you can see, a push to the downside is starting to form. And, again, if you look at positions, there was a time where we were at 100,000 before. Okay? This is a cycle that is repeating, so I won't go into much more information than that, but you can figure it out if you look at the charts. Okay? Oil. What's going on with oil? Price came down to the weekly area of buying here, and I believe that zone has been removed. So price is dropping through that area right now. Like I said, there's not much going on with positions. There hasn't been for many weeks now. So there's not really anything here telling us what is likely going to happen. So we just move on, okay? Dollar. What did we say was going to happen, okay? Remember when the institutions were accumulating their large, long position? And what did we say when price was hitting this area on the weekly chart? I said this would be a perfect area for them to take profits on their long positions and price to drive to the downside, okay? All the evidence was suggesting that this was the area where the banks would start taking profits. And slowly we started seeing as price started declining. And we took advantage of this drop that we saw coming by getting into some long euro trades and some short US dollar Japanese yen trades, and they played out to perfection. Okay, so now we are down here. What is next on the agenda? What are the banks going to do? Well, any signs of what they're going to do here? All we are seeing so far is that they're taking profits on long positions. We're not seeing any signs of an accumulation of any type of position. So right now it would be too early to be suggesting what is going to be happening because we're not seeing any evidence of that. And we want to see the evidence before we start leaning towards any type of bias. But I will tell you from my experience, looking at the charts, because the charts can give us so much more information than just looking at the CFTC data, we do have a bias, a bullish bias. That price is going to start heading up from where it is, okay? So, bullish bias on the US dollar. Aussie. The theme of Aussie has been adding shorts, profit taking on shorts, adding shorts, taking profits on shorts, over and over and over all throughout this massive drop, okay? So I will draw your attention to what is taking place right now. You see, this is a selling area that we have mapped out, and we believe that when price came up to this area, it was going to initiate some selling by the big players, okay? The big kahunas. And so now price is inside this selling area. And what are we seeing? We're seeing some weakness coming into the chart, okay? We're seeing selling, exactly what we thought was going to take place. And so if we look at the charts, what has been taking place? Well, the big drive up was profit taking on short positions. It's very similar to what we're seeing with gold, okay? The same situation. profit taking on shorts. When you close shorts, it causes price to rally up, and that's what's taking place. But look what's happened before when they've done that. Okay, they drop the numbers, and then what ends up happening? They increase them again, and price drops. So this is a selling cycle that we're in, and we don't suspect that anything different is going to play out. So more downside on that sucker. Okay, USCAD. What do we see with USCAD? USCAD's got longs at 58,000. They dropped them to 50. Why? Big drop means profit taking in long positions. Okay. And remember our target that we had? We set this target back on September 25th. It hit, and then price dropped. Why is that? Because we suspected this is where all the big players were going to start taking profits on their long positions. So you see how later on when we look at the data, we can see that's exactly what they did with that drop in long positions. How would we know? How would we know that that is what was going to take place? Well, the thing is, the evidence was there to suggest that this move was going to happen. All right? The evidence was all there. And so now what is going to happen with price? Well, we're collecting evidence. We're looking at the charts. We're looking at what the institutions are doing with price on the price charts. And there's a good indication that we're going to be seeing some upside start to form from these lows. Okay. Next, we have US Swiss franc. Same thing, big drop in price. Look at the drop in long positions. Isn't that interesting? Look at that, 21, 22, and then boom, down to 19,000. Profit taking on long positions. You see shorts not doing much. In fact, they've been just reducing their shorts, 6, 4, 2,000. You see the coloration of the 2,000 sell? Very blue, meaning very cooled off. Look at the difference between that and that. That's their average size for shorts, 7,300. Now we're at 2,200. You think they're focusing on shorts? Not even in the least. Not even in the least. Okay? So now we're watching price. It just dropped dramatically, and now we're seeing a little bit of a push. Interesting where that push is taking place from, isn't it? Look, trend line that we have here. But nonetheless, we suspect more upside is coming, simply because the dollar will likely help drive this chart forward. Euro. Remember it came into contact with demand down here? Remember why we had this area drawn? We suspected this is the area where profits would be taken on short positions. And look at the rally up. Okay? You see how we were able to predict that this was going to happen before it actually happened? Okay? Remember back here when shorts back in September were at 249,000? Okay? Our analysis said they're at 249,000. They're going to start to take profits. And when they start taking profits on these short positions, it's going to drive price to the upside. And what happened? It drove price to the upside. Not just that, but then they started to accumulate their longs, okay? Which helped drive price even further. You see the longs here? Coming from the 200s up to 239 now, okay? So their main position right now are long positions. And this is what's helped drive price up as far as it has. We took positions on here. I got in low, exited at the highs, and we made a nice profit on that one. Okay, so what is next? What is next? Well, we have the data to come out. Next week's data will probably be telling because if you remember, this data represents this big move to the upside right here. And now we're contacting an area of selling. This is an area where we suspect we'll see some selling pressure come into the markets. If we want to know exactly what's happening, we got to wait for next week's data. Then we'll know exactly. All right, so stay tuned until next episode, and then we'll break down what the banks are doing with the euro when we see the positions. All right, pound, look at this baby. Big push to the upside. Now, in the EURUSD report, the exclusive report that we send out to members with exclusive analysis that I don't share with anybody else, we talked about the dynamic that was in play here and how this chart was going to lead the other charts. And that's exactly to the T what happened. And so now we have a selling area in play. And this selling area is where we believe price is going to stop the momentum to the upside, pause, and drop. So what will likely take place over the next following weeks is we'll likely start to see shorts increase. Now, if we look at shorts now, we can see that they've been dropping from 106 all the way down to 67, well below their average. But I suspect over the next few weeks, we'll start to see these numbers start to climb back up again, and we're going to start to see a decline in the pound. Okay? That's what the evidence is suggesting. So stay tuned until next episode, and we'll see if that is exactly what takes place. US dollar, Japanese yen, we took positions here short. Entered up high, got out at our target down below, and profited. Why? Because we suspected, once again, when this area was contacted on the charts, that it would be an area that the banks would take profits on their positions. Remember, we talked about that before it even happened? Okay. All right. US dollar, Japanese yen, price rallied up into our institutional area of selling. And we can see that they increase longs from 107, 124, 140 right into massive area of supply. What's likely going to happen here? Likely profit taking on those long positions, and then an adding of shorts to fuel a move to the downside. Likely. Those are the odds. Remember we talked about that when positions were in the 140,000s? We said price is hitting an area where we believe the institutions are going to start taking profits on their positions. And in the following week, what do we see? A big reduction in long positions, profit taking, 140 to 118. Now it's at 112. And then finally, 99,000. Profit taking on long positions. How would we know before it actually happened? Go back and take a look at previous episodes that we posted, and you'll see that this is exactly what we were talking about. That the banks were going to take profits on long positions. So we were able to predict this weeks in advance of it happening. Again, because we collected the information, collected the data, and all the evidence was suggesting that. Now, Kiwi. This one, big rally to the upside, which we were talking about over the last several weeks. What did the positions tell us? They took some profits on their long positions, or reduced them, and took profits on shorts, reducing them from 28 up to 21. So the profit taking on shorts fuels the move to the upside. Now what? Now what is to come? Well, I can tell you that price is in a selling area. We believe this area is a prime area for institutions to start selling this pair and driving price lower. We don't see the evidence in the positions just yet, but we believe that this is what is going to happen. So stay tuned once again for next episode, and we'll see indeed if that is what the institutions are doing. All right, ladies and gents, that is it. Like, subscribe, you know the drill, you know the routine. www.whiteoakfx.com if you want more information, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Have a good one.